For as long as it's been around, studying the brain for marketing purposes has been wrapped in controversy, with many questioning the ethics of this field known as neuromarketing. The implications of its applications could be revolutionary for the marketing industry as a whole, but perhaps due to its infancy, there are still several limitations and challenges the field faces for it to be widely accepted. There is no doubt that neuromarketing can serve as a great framework for better understanding how we make decisions. However, no matter how much we wish we were, human beings are relatively irrational creatures. Although whether that is ultimately true is up for discussion and exploration in another video. Nevertheless, we know from many studies and research that there are countless processes in our minds that pull us to make decisions unknowingly, even if our beliefs contradict the actions. Thus, a field like neuromarketing, where we blend the knowledge of neuroscience into a more business context, can give us the needed insights to better understand the very thing that makes the economy turn: humans. Yet, even with that being the case, this is definitely a far cry from accepting that everything that comes out of neuromarketing is justified and valid. In fact, it is hard to say that with full certainty that what we learn from neuromarketing is actually 100% solid for every situation out there. In the end, there is a lot of factors we need to consider when making decisions, from the environment to the surrounding stimulus around us. Understanding human behavior in varying contexts is not as simple as a dividing line between black and white. There's a whole lot of gray area. Neuromarketing is not a be-all, end-all solution. It does not guarantee surefire sales for brands or guarantee the best products for us as consumers. The field merely serves as a guideline, an added insight for marketers to see things slightly better. It is, after all, just another form of research with a splash of scientific flavor added in the mix. The only difference is, however, with this research comes the act of peering into the brain and uncovering things we ourselves aren't consciously aware of. It is a look into what some of us may consider the private data of our minds. So, if a company yearns to see which product advertisement is more effective, or which form factor of their product has a closer association with the emotion of happiness, is using this information of our subconscious a violation to our trust as consumers? Some ethical questions businesses need to consider when exploring the field of neuromarketing is whether it is manipulative, an invasion of privacy, taking advantage of the vulnerable, a lack of regulation, or breaking autonomy. No matter which way we look at it, one thing that remains true is that modern humans are spoiled beyond all measure when it comes to consumption. We live in an age where there is an abundance of choice, and as such, consumers these days are oftentimes suffering from what's called analysis paralysis, the inability to make a decision due to overthinking a problem or choice. There have been countless research revealing that analysis paralysis can take quite a toll on us, reducing things like productivity and even mental well-being. As American psychologist Barry Schwartz once noted on the paradox of choice, an effect of analysis paralysis is that even if we manage to overcome the paralysis and make a choice, we end up less satisfied with the result of the choice than we would be if we had fewer options to choose from. In an age of e-commerce, drone deliveries and social media, we expect comfort and convenience over everything, so much so that it's hard to ignore the harsh truth that we may need help to make the decisions for us. From this issue of spoiled choice, companies and brands are put in a position where they need to obtain information on the true desires of what we want, perhaps not necessarily as a way to manipulate us, but instead simply to meet our insatiable demands as consumers. And if that's what's needed to keep us satisfied, maybe neuromarketing, while manipulative and unethical as it may seem to some, is an inevitability to keep us happy as consumers. You've made it to the final and last part of this mini-series exploring neuromarketing, a field that I've personally been intrigued by for several years now. If you've missed the first part of the series regarding the history behind neuromarketing, click the video on the left, or if you'd like to explore more videos on understanding our buyer's brain, check out the playlist on the right.